Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Why is this still so dark? Welcome to my shed. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, welcome to my shed. How are you? How's life in your world house? Oh, I have the darkness turned down. Hold on a second. That's better. That's more normal-ish. Welcome. How's things in your world? So continuing to talk about this past Gen Con, Jonathan asked yesterday how my pitch meetings went. These are the games that I took with me to pitch at Gen Con. I technically took the Utilities Project game, but I didn't even show it to anybody. These are games that I showed or talked about or introduced to publishers. And to be honest, I had very few meetings. I had one officially scheduled meeting, and then I had discussions with other publishers I just kind of talked to, showed up at their booths and talked to. The two that I was most excited to show, or not most excited, the two I was trying to show the most were my dice game, which was originally Princess Fairy Rainbow Unicorn dice, which I themed with a Marine Corps Storming the Beach kind of theme, as well as the Squirrel game that we worked on last year, and I talked a good bit about it last year. Oh, and also my trick-taking game. So I had a meeting with a publisher for both the trick-taking, or the Squirrel game, and the dice game. And both of those got shot down pretty quickly. The dice game, interestingly enough, the publisher said it's not complex enough. I would argue that publisher publishes titles that have significantly less decisions than this game and significantly less strategy. But that's okay. They didn't want it. No big deal. The Squirrel game was interesting that they didn't want it because it's just a deck of cards, and they don't want to publish just a deck of cards. They have a specific box size and type of product that they're going for, and this doesn't fit that line. Which is funny, because I told him the interesting part about this particular game is that it came from a game called Me Booty, which is a card-only version of a game that I did with GameRight that included plastic coins. So we might rediscuss that at some point. I don't know. But for all intents and purposes, I am giving up on all but pull out of this box. The dice game, I think, has a market, but maybe that ship has sailed, and maybe I just need to figure out how to make it myself. The card game, I'm not really happy with it anymore. It's okay, but it's just a simple card game, and it doesn't really have a good place for me. I think that the trick-taking game pool has a lot of legs. I just have to find its audience, and I have to find a theme that will attract that audience, and I don't know what that is yet. So that one's still on the table. The others I'm taking off the table. In fact, I'm taking almost all of my older design. I'm just going to throw them away. Not in reality. I'm going to keep the physical versions, but I'm not going to continue trying to publish those. The only things that I'm really going to seek publication on are the train game, the Viking game, and the Utilities Project game. So the train game, Rival Rails, I got to talk to quite a few publishers about this particular product, and they all agreed with me that it is a needed product in the market and that there is a marketplace for it, and none of them wanted to take it home. I've told you that I have a publisher friend who's been asking for this, and we talked about it. He has not seen it yet or played it yet. I mean, he's seen pictures, but we talked about how it works. He hasn't played it yet, and he told me that he is very backed up right now and doesn't have a foreseeable publish date for this sort of thing. I told him that that doesn't bother me, that he has right of first refusal. We'll play it. If he wants it, it's his. If he doesn't want it, fine. I'll figure something else out. But I did play it. I played it at Gen Con. I had a really good playtest session, inebriated one evening. And from that, this is already outdated. So I just ordered this 2 weeks ago, already outdated. I have completely updated the charts that are on the board. This whole system got updated. All the cards got updated. So this this I feel very, very strongly about. And I talked to probably 10 different publishers about it, and none of them seem to be particularly interested. I'm hitting a wall as to who I can find to publish this game. So if you know of anybody that you know, the problem is, as I've said before, it's a train game, and there's not a lot of companies doing train games. On top of that, it's a two-player game, and that's a hard sell. I am also very seriously considering publishing it myself, doing a crowdfunding campaign and going for it. If I can't find a publisher within the next year, I might pursue that avenue. I'm not done playtesting it though. I still have some changes. The current version rocks. It's really solid. But I need to tune it to the point that I'm saying it's done, and then I will go hard at finding a publisher, and if that doesn't work, then maybe I'll just do it myself. But the thing is about that game, I want it to be done right, which means I'm not going to do the art and graphic design. I'm going to have to hire somebody, and I don't have that kind of cash laying around. So, it's going to be a while. But, you know, all in all, I made some new contacts within the industry. I have some feelers out for other publishers looking at my various things, and I'm excited about the potential for some of my other games. I also discovered, or I have found a good theme for the Utilities project. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to work on completely retheming that game and ordering a new version of it so that I can start showing it as that theme, and I think that that will give it a little bit more oomph. Because every time I pitch it to somebody, they go, ugh. That's where we're at. Viking game, I'm getting back to after all that work's done. So, today's Shallow Thoughts with Chris. Let's see what Chris has to say today, because, you know, we haven't heard his voice in a day.
Hey, friend, how are you? Hey, I meant to ask you this, well, I've been meaning to ask you this for years. Why are you such a American soccer fan? What got you into the sport? Did you play it, or did you just like watching it? Don't take this the wrong way. I would rather watch paint dry or golf than watch a soccer match. Until next time.
I got into soccer at a young age. Not because I played it. It wasn't available here until my teens. I played it, I think, for the first time when I was 15, maybe 14, somewhere around there. I was a hockey fan. I've been a hockey fan since I was a kid. I loved hockey. Used to love basketball. Tolerated American football. It was really basketball and hockey. And the reason that I like soccer is the same reason I like basketball and hockey. It's because plays just go. There's not a lot of stoppage. At least basketball back in the day. Today's basketball, completely different product. I'm not interested in it at all. But I don't enjoy American football because it's just boring. It's an hour of just, or 4 hours of just, a 10-second play and then 30 seconds of replays and discussing it and talking about it, and it just bores the crap out of me. Soccer just keeps going. It just goes. And so when I discovered it in my teens, I was really, it was basically like, you know, hockey on a field. It was just constant play after play after play. And I enjoy sports for displays of athleticism, not necessarily for score, you know. And so Americans don't like soccer because there's no scoring, but soccer fans like soccer because they get to see players making really interesting plays. And it's always been that way for me. I enjoy the mental games of sports more than I enjoy the sport itself. And soccer is a big mental game. So I just, you know, been a fan. And then when I was in Hawaii, I played on with like a base team. We played sometimes, and then I started watching more World Cup and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was able to watch it on TV. I don't have cable anymore, so I don't get to watch soccer anymore. But I still follow my favorite teams in both the North American League and the European leagues, and of course I watch the World Cup when I can. So. I just like action. I like non-stop action. I don't want action to stop every 10 seconds. That just bores me to death. So, yeah. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is nanosecond. It is a noun meaning a time period equal to 1/1000th of a second. Amanda's new diamond-encrusted watch not only has a second hand, but it also a nanosecond hand. Nanosecond, Nanosecond. I didn't actually know that it was a billionth. I would have thought like it was 1,000th or something like that.